Hey, this is Chuck from Aquatic Artists, and we are here down in Maryland on this really, really hot day, probably one of the hottest days of the year in the beginning of September. And we are working on a large, this ultimate grotto. Okay, I'm standing on top of the grotto top. It's a two-tiered grotto top. Waterfalls are the water's gonna cascade over the top, break off onto here, and then break off again into the pool. So it's gonna be super awesome. Got a custom 30-foot slide, ultimate slide going in. Another waterfall over there. This structure's got to be, what, 40 foot wide by 20 foot deep. So this structure is probably 800 square foot in total. So it's coming along awesome. This big, huge rocks. We've got the steps going up. It's going to jump onto the slide. Awesome side entrance to go into the dry grotto, which is then also part of it is a wet grotto. So it's coming along awesome. I love the rock work. The team is moving along really well, and we're getting there. So check out some of the more details. So here we are at the side entrance of the grotto that'll bring you in. So we designed it where we've got these huge boulders that kind of create a channel, right, to go into the dry entrance of the grotto. And it is such a cool component with these big, beautiful column rocks and the overhead stones. And then all along the sides here, this is going to be a huge planting bed. Topsoil goes all the way down, you know, so it'll be flanked with these really large boulders that wrap the front. And this will be planted in here. Okay, so, you know, it's going to be pretty awesome. Love these large rocks flanking this corner. Just creates a really awesome kind of entranceway going in, you know. And then you'll be able to go in dry and come out dry so people can enjoy the grotto without getting their hair wet, you know. So let's check out the steps. So these are the steps that kind of bring you up to the slide. Okay, they're kind of wrapped around this. Natural stone steps bring you up. And then this will bring you right to the slide. We'll have a couple more steps and then a landing. And then on both sides are going to be flanked with these huge boulder walls. And these are all going to be planting spaces there, and then it'll step up. And then this back wall will get higher, and we'll create a beautiful planting bed across the back and across the front, okay, to kind of flank the sides. So here on this enormous grotto project that we're working on, we incorporated our new line of concrete reinforced natural stone grotto tops. And what we did was we designed these features so that they have a concrete reinforcement center with rebar and reinforced concrete, but the entire perimeter is natural stone, right? So we used 3 of those. We kind of manufactured 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3 for this project. And as you can see, the bottom is all real stone, okay? But inside, above the rock, is reinforced concrete with rebar. And then all the real rock is pinned with rebar to hold it together. So from the back, this is all real stone, and the concrete's on the inside. And then you got stone on the bottom here, and then the tops of both of these are going to be a veneered stone to kind of tie in with the boulders, right? So they have a very natural look, and this gives us the ability to manufacture these rocks in any size we need to accommodate these really large grotto projects, because real stone in these sizes becomes really hard to find over time. All right, so we're really excited about this. This is the upper grotto right here. The water's going to roll across the top, and it's going to cascade off, come down here, hit this one, and then cascade off again, okay, and cascade off there. So when this is all done, you're going to see this big, beautiful waterfall here and another one here that you can enjoy from the dry grotto. You can hang out here, or you can step into the water and kind of hang out and enjoy it from there. So this is going to be really awesome. All this beautiful stonework and these amazing grotto tops. Can't wait to see this come together. So stay tuned. So here we are on the back side of this sort of really large custom grotto slide project. And what we're doing back here is we're building these really large boulder retaining walls to retain this structure on the back side, mainly so that the customer has room behind the water feature to use. So that's why we're building these really large walls. And that's something to keep in mind. When you build a large water feature, you have to address the back side, either with boulder walls or a slope. So in this case, we're doing these huge boulder walls, and they're going to be 8 or 9 feet tall. They're going to go up to the slide area. And then the walls are probably going to be 50, 60, 70 feet long. And the wall will go down as the slide goes down. So it'll follow the elevation of the slide both ways. It'll follow it that way, and it'll follow it this way with the steps, because the steps are coming up this way and the slide's going down that way. So the wall will start high and kind of transition down. And then we're going to create large planting spaces behind the wall, between the slide and the wall. Okay, so planting space is important. It'll soften this large boulder structure, which is important because you want this, when it's all done, you want it to look like art, and you don't want it to look like a pile of rocks. So planting is very important. So this is sort of the side area of the big custom slide. This is a 30+ foot slide, and this is kind of the one side. So what we're going to do here is we're building these boulder walls that kind of run this way, and they're going to kind of tie into the slide and create terraces. Okay, so you're going to have all these beautiful planting terraces to the side. So at the end of the day, when it's all done, this slide will be veiled with a combination of boulders and plantings. So it'll look very, very kind of clean and natural and artistic. So in addition, we've got another waterfall over here. They're going to tie all this in, do a bunch of rock work, tie in the plumbing line here. Okay, and we're going to have another beautiful waterfall that cascades off the front, and then it will be backed up by a really beautiful planting space that will naturalize this waterfall and kind of soften the slide and veil the slide. So the work's coming along beautifully. So I'm standing here inside what would ultimately be the wet part of the grotto. I'm standing in the swimming pool. So when this is all done, the water level is going to come mid-tile and we'll be in the water. If you have these cool benches where you can hang out, there'll be this big beautiful waterfall that cascades off the front. And you know, you're kind of backing up to the dry part of the grotto. So you can hang out in the water and enjoy it, or you could step out onto this dry area and you can walk out, go up the steps, go down the slide, come through the grotto waterfall, get out and repeat. So this is a really cool detail kind of doing all this. So when this is all done, this whole floor will be flagstone. Okay, so when it's finished, everything you see from inside this grotto will be beautiful natural stone. The floor will be natural flagstone. All these big, huge boulder walls will be, you know, kind of flanking the sides, and then the beautiful grotto top. So all this will be natural rock. So it's going to look amazing. So stay tuned.